Welcome back. You're watching KTN Business Today with me, Abi Agina. And we want now to talk matters technology. And joining us in set is none other than Charles Mutido, who is the country manager for Google. And we are really honored to have you this afternoon.
Yes, Morito.
Sorry, Morito.
Yes.
Excuse me for that.
No problem.
And Charles, of course, this is one of your first engagements with the media. And let's just pick it up from how's been the journey so far ever since you took over office?
It's been great. I think one of the key things that we've been focusing on across Kenya and Africa in large is around three main pillars. The first one is access. How do we increase the access for people across Africa to get online? And there are a couple of different ways that we focus on doing that. The first one is by building a better relationship with telco partners so that we can start getting better devices into the market at a much more affordable rate, as well as helping lower the cost of data, because Africa, the cost of data is pretty high relative to the Africans' earnings. So we're constantly looking at how we can help on doing that. The second one is around content. And this makes sure that we have more relevant content that's applicable both in Kenya as well as across Africa, so that when people search for content or look for different things, they can be able to find that. And then last but not least, which is very important and ties everything together, is education. And education comes across various elements. The first one is consumer education. What do you do with a new smartphone when you get it? On businesses, what do you do? What's the power of digital? For instance, McKinsey released a report that stated that over the next 5 years, we will see over $350 billion in benefit hitting the continent. How can small businesses be able to tap into that? And skills development is critical. So over the last 12 months, for instance, we just trained over 1 million Africans on digital skills. So it's very exciting in terms of the journey that we're on as Google Africa, and very keen to continue building on that.
All right. And of course, Google is among the biggest in terms of usage in Africa and also across the world. And looking at this phenomenon right now, there's a lot of focus on the digital space, where the young people are coming in. There are better devices in the market that people can access internet with, and the democratization of data has become a big agenda for many African countries. And as a company, what are some of the trends you're seeing around this?
Okay, so a couple of really great points, as you pointed out, is that the cost of smart devices is consistently coming down, and what we've seen is over 40% year-on-year growth on the amount of smartphones that are being taken up in the market. That's really powerful. Right now in Kenya, we have over 70% internet penetration, and most of those people who are coming online only do so through smartphone devices. The other element about the smartphones is that they're becoming better, faster, more powerful, and really becoming supercomputers in your pocket. So some of the trends that we've seen because of that is that people are tending to consume more content on the smartphone, as well as search more. And it's this notion of assistance, whereby we see people want to be helped throughout their day by the smartphones, by the internet, so that it can actually drive better productivity. So for instance, if I'm coming from Westlands to your studio here, if there's a traffic change, I will get an alert on my phone telling me, Charles, you need to leave 10 minutes earlier in order to be able to make it to KTN at the defined time, so that you can make it there for your interview. So that is really important, the element of smart assistance. And going forward, we certainly want to ensure that we educate more people on the benefits, so that every single business that's out there can take advantage of the technology, so that when people are searching for services or products, those businesses are online and have a fair shot of actually making money out of it. Yes.
And Charles, as we wrap it up, there's been a lot of interest really when it comes to the hospitality sector. And a number of reports have come out showing that Kenyans prefer to search for places online. At the same time, they prefer to pay in installments. Some also prefer to pay cash, but in installments.
Yes.
So as a company, how are you sort of positioning yourselves to package better models for the hoteliers? Of course, this is also another area that the companies can tap more revenue from.
Yes. So one of the things that we've seen is that 53% of people who are doing research online about where to go to next prefer to actually visit somewhere they have never been. And also about 62% of people, again, researching around travel and tourism are happy to actually visit something that, or make a purchase consideration of a brand that they have never considered before. So what we are doing as Google is to really ensure that we're there around the point of intent so that we can help the consumers on that particular journey. Just last week, together with the Ministry of Tourism, we announced that going forward, we're going to be training between 70 to 100 tourism sector businesses every single month for the next 6 months to help them understand the opportunity that's online, the digital marketing, and to really help them really take advantage of the opportunities that digital offers. So that is the way that we're positioning ourselves. And again, working very closely with the Ministry of Tourism, Kenya Tourism Board, as well as Kenya Wildlife Services. We're going to really help digitize a lot of the content, put different streets and parks on Street View, which is fantastic, helps on the purchase path, and really ensure that when people search for something, they can get the information they want at the time they want in a